Alright guys, so I know this is probably the last thing you want to think about as you create beautiful WordPress blogs and websites, but updating your theme, your plugins, and your WordPress core software is actually really important. So let's make sure you know the bare minimum and you know how things work so you can make sure your sites are always updated for better security, increased speed, and other good things. So here we are on our demo site, and I'm going to click to the dashboard. And periodically you'll see little update notifications like this one for our theme. Mr. Taylor is our theme, and this little red number in plugins. But to see everything at once, all our updates, just click on updates in the upper left. And I'll walk you through what this page says. Alright, so at the top we can install the Woo Themes Updater plugin, but we're not going to do that because I'm actually going to show you a plugin that will update all of our plugins in a second and do so automatically so we don't have to keep checking in on this update section. Then below that we see that same notification that there's an update available for our theme. After that we can see that our WordPress updates was last checked on March 21st. And we can click check again if we want, but March 21st is today, so I'm happy with that. Then it says you have the latest version of WordPress, future security updates will be applied automatically. So what does that mean? Well, the nice thing is we have the latest version, which is currently 4.4.2. It'll probably be different for you if you're watching this in the future. And what you should know is that the default setting on WordPress is to make us manually update the version of WordPress, the major version that is. So every time WordPress goes from 4.4 to 4.5 or 4.0 to 4.1 and changes after this first decimal point right here, we're going to have to manually click that in our dashboard, and that's nice because you'll see what WordPress made for us. You'll see the announcements, you usually get to see a new video and stay in the loop. That's something I enjoy doing, is updating major versions of WordPress. Now the minor versions, aka security updates, happen automatically. So by default in WordPress, when the software updates from 4.4.0 to 4.4.1 and this second decimal point changes, that happens automatically. Ever since WordPress 3.7, these minor updates have been automatically happening in the background. That promotes better security, maintenance, and so on, and WordPress made that decision. So when WordPress has a minor update, you don't need to do anything, and oftentimes you'll get an email like this. Alright, that's just what this upper section means, and we don't need to reinstall or download WordPress again, but if we wanted to do that manually, you could click these two buttons. But we don't want to do that. Next, in plugins, we see that the following plugins have new versions available, so you can manually check them or hit select all and hit update. The problem here is these plugins are just going to keep updating in the future, and you might forget to come back and visit the update section and keep doing this. So while that's a good way to update plugins, I'm going to do you one better and show you the plugin to update plugins. So let's do that right now. And then we'll cover themes at the bottom down here. So just click on plugins, add new, and then type in advanced automatic. Hit enter. And we want advanced automatic updates, which adds extra options to WordPress's built-in automatic updates feature. We can click install now. The automatic updates feature is just what we were talking about before, how WordPress has some built-in automatic updates already in the background, like the minor software versions. And now we can just activate the plugin. Once you do that, click on Settings for Advanced Automatic Updates. And now let's check exactly what we want here. Alright, so this will save us some time in the future. At the top in Update WordPress Core Automatically, you can choose to update both major and minor or just minor. And then we definitely want to update our plugins automatically. And this box right here for update your themes automatically will update WordPress directory themes automatically. Meaning if you got your theme through Appearance, Themes, I'll open that in a new window so we can keep this page open. If you got your theme through this sort of area in WordPress, which is the theme directory, if you got one of these themes that comes right through WordPress, maybe you search for something like Vantage and you got the Vantage theme, then this checkbox right here will allow that theme to be updated automatically if it came from the WordPress theme directory. However, our theme was bought on ThemeForest, which is technically a third-party website. So if we click update our themes automatically, this won't work on Mr. Taylor. Again, because it's from a third-party website, a really good third-party website. So let's leave that box blank. Next, in notification email, we see that automatic updates will send an email to the site admin, which is our email we have in our settings. We can override that with a different email, or we can disable those notifications. And we already get too many emails probably, so let's disable them. And then we'll leave debug information the same, but you can change that setting too. And save. Alright, so now that we've saved these settings, this plugin should update our plugins automatically and our WordPress software automatically. Most importantly, our plugins. So let's see if that's working now. Let's click on Dashboard, Update. And we can see we still have the plugin updates, which probably just means that that plugin will run at the end of every 24-hour cycle. So we're going to leave that plugin working, and for the time being, just do the manual update so you can see how this works. Hit select all. We have 5 plugins that need an update for our website, and click update. And WordPress will do its thing. Very nice. Now we can click return to plugins page to make sure they're all updated. And by the way, any settings you have for the plugins that you've entered will remain the same. Updating a plugin won't override the settings that you've created. This page looks good because our blue bar stretches all the way down without any interruptions on the left side, this blue bar. I'll just say now that updating plugins is one of the biggest precautions you can take to prevent hacks and to increase WordPress security. I have another tutorial on deeper WordPress security tips, but if you just want to do the bare minimum for protecting your WordPress blog or website, update all the plugins and update them automatically as we just saw how to do, because this prevents any holes, as they call it, in the WordPress software you're running. Basically, plugins can have holes in the code, and believe it or not, there are hackers out there that will try to exploit those holes or those vulnerabilities in the plugins and use their technology to get inside a plugin. And once someone gets inside a plugin, they can get inside things like your WordPress site or even your cPanel, which is really catastrophic. So make sure you update your plugins. Let me know if you have any more questions on a further explanation there. Alright, now that we've updated plugins, let's go back to Dashboard, Updates, and the one remaining update is our theme. So now we know everything in this upper section. And in themes, it says the following themes are new versions, of course. Check the ones you want to update, then click Update Themes. Please note, and this is important, any customizations you made of the theme files will be lost. Please consider using child themes for modifications. Now, we don't have to worry about customizations being lost because we've done the customizations in Appearance, Customize, as we're supposed to. All these changes will be saved when we update. And because we've done customizations in theme options, and all these changes will be saved when we update the theme. That's how you're supposed to edit your site, create, and otherwise make changes. If, however, you did change the theme files, which are in Appearance Editor, maybe you added some CSS to style.css, or maybe you changed up your header.php file to include a Google font or some analytics code or something like that. Anything that you edited in these files on the right and then saved will be overwritten when we update our theme. That's important to know. sometimes instead of using customize or theme options, you actually do need to make edits to your theme files themselves. But as it tells us here, it's strongly recommended that we consider using a child theme for that process. So if you've already changed up the theme files, aka the core theme files in this area, go ahead and literally just copy those changes and paste them in the appropriate files in a WordPress child theme. Of course, let me know any questions down below in the comments if you've made changes to these theme files and you aren't sure how to move them to a child theme or where to move them to. But that's important to note. Those changes in these core files will be overwritten. So you want to use a child theme, or maybe something like a plugin that gives you another copy of one of these files that won't get overwritten. Something like that. Now that we know that much, let's go back to dashboard updates. And because we haven't changed any of those theme files, we know we're all set to check Mr. Taylor and click update themes. And WordPress will do its thing. Goes into maintenance mode for a second, and then goes out of maintenance mode when it's done. So let's return now to the WordPress updates page. And this is basically how you want it to look. We have all our plugins up to date, our themes are all up to date, and we have the latest version of WordPress. Lastly, for those theme updates, you might get an email from the theme author if you bought your theme on ThemeForest, which is always a good idea. And that email could look like this. Of course, we don't need to worry about this email anymore because we just did what this email wants us to do. So we can say bye to that email. And lastly, we should just check to make sure that our site didn't break. And it looks like all is well. Alright guys, so that's how to update your theme, your plugins, and the core version of WordPress, and everything you need to know on those sort of updates. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll stick around to help, of course. Good luck building, and I'll see you next time.